इस वीडियो को हिंदी भाषा में देखने के लिए सेटिंग्स में जाकर हिंदी ऑडियो चुनें।
Namaskar. Welcome to Simplify Your Space. Cooking is an essential part of our daily chores, but it can be quite time consuming, especially when all meals need to be prepared from scratch. Due to a busy lifestyle or lack of help, many of us often lose the motivation to cook. As a result, we end up ordering food from outside or consuming packaged food, which not only increases expenses but also negatively impacts our diet and health. However, if we dedicate a little time on weekends to meal planning and prepping a few essential ingredients in advance, it can save us a lot of time during weekdays. This way, we can quickly prepare homemade meals without hassle. On weekends, either once a week or every 2 weeks, I do some basic meal prepping, which makes daily cooking much easier and faster. So let's take a look at how I did my meal prepping this week. I've already made several videos on this topic. If you would like to watch them, you can find the links in the description box. I had soaked the kala chana overnight and now I will cook them, which will take around 40 minutes. Kala chana is extremely healthy and I use it in multiple ways. For breakfast, I make kala chana chaat. For lunch, I prepare a kala chana gravy to have with rice, and I also love kala chana pulao. When I need to cook something quickly, I simply make a flavorful kala chana pulao with raita. I had also set moong dal for sprouting and now they have sprouted perfectly. I will store them in a container and keep them in the fridge. We usually have some sprout chaat for breakfast. Next, I am boiling milk to make paneer. While the milk is heating, I am simultaneously preparing tamarind paste. I prefer making tamarind paste at home, which stays fresh in the freezer for up to a year. To prepare it, I cook tamarind with a little water in a pressure cooker until it gets 2 whistles. Since I use tamarind quite frequently, having the paste ready is very convenient for me. However, for those who don't use tamarind often, this may not be as useful. The milk has boiled. Now I will add the juice of 1 lemon, which will curdle the milk. I use a paneer maker, which makes the process much more convenient. I have now left the paneer to set while the tamarind has also finished boiling. I use leftover lemon peels and store them in the freezer for later use in cleaning. Using a strainer, I will separate the tamarind pulp from the water. Once the water is strained out, I will cook the pulp further until it reduces to almost half, which will take some time. While the tamarind paste is getting ready, I am also preparing a tomato and onion gravy on the side. Tomatoes are very affordable at this time, so it is a great opportunity to make and store tomato puree and onion tomato gravy. You can freeze and store these for up to 6 months. Sometimes when tomatoes become very expensive, this tomato puree can come in handy. The tomatoes and onions are now cooked. I will let this mixture cool down and then grind it into a smooth paste. While the tamarind paste is cooking and the tomato onion mixture is cooling down, I will make ghee from the stored malai. We use full cream milk at home, which results in a good amount of collected malai. I had taken it out from the freezer in the morning so that it could come to the room temperature. Now I have transferred all the malai into a large pot and added some water. Using a hand blender, I will churn it to separate the butter. Once the butter has formed, I am adding some ice to help it bind together quickly. Now I will wash the butter with clean water to remove any impurities. Look at this, such rich and creamy butter. Next, I will heat it in a pot to extract the ghee. While the ghee is cooking, I will continue the rest of my meal prepping. Meanwhile, the tamarind paste is also ready, so I will leave it to cool down. The paneer is now ready. It should always be stored submerged in water to keep it fresh for a longer time in the fridge. I will also store the leftover whey water in a bottle and use it later while kneading dough, as it is rich in protein. I have blended the onion tomato mixture into a smooth gravy and poured it into ice cube trays to freeze. Similarly, I have also poured the tamarind paste into ice cube trays for easy storage. The kala chana is ready as well. I will strain the water and store it separately in a container. The strained water should not be discarded as it can be used while preparing curries. Keeping the chana separate from the water helps them stay fresh for a longer time. While I was finishing up these tasks, the ghee was also ready. Now I will transfer it to my ghee container for storage. That's all I prepped on the first day. I will continue with the rest of the meal prepping in the next session. On the same day, I made my favorite kala chana pulao. As I mentioned earlier, if you're short on time but want something healthy, this one-pot meal is a great option. For the next day, I had already noted down my task, so I will simply follow the sequence and start working accordingly. First, I will boil some potatoes. Today, I plan to prepare aloo and mixed veg tikkis in advance for making sandwiches. While the potatoes are boiling, I will make green chutney which will be useful for snacks and sandwiches. To prepare the chutney, I have taken fresh coriander leaves along with a little mint. Now I will add garlic, grated ginger, green chilies, cumin seeds, coriander powder, hing, salt, lemon juice and some roasted grams for binding. After adding a little water, I blended everything into a smooth paste. And now the green chutney is ready. To make the spread for veg sandwiches, I use hung curd. For this, I will pour the homemade curd into this hung curd maker. It comes with a strainer where you add the curd and the water slowly drains into the container below. In about 3 to 4 hours, all the water will drain out, leaving thick curd ready to use. This thick curd is perfect for sandwich spreads and making tandoori items. Ginger is very affordable these days, so I already prepared ginger garlic paste last week and stored it. However, I also need a small amount of plain ginger paste for certain dishes, so I will prepare that now. To ensure the ginger grinds well, I always chop it first in a chopper. Then I add a little oil and grind it into a smooth paste using a mixer. also keep chopped garlic in the fridge for quick tadka. I will chop the garlic in the chopper and store it in a container. Adding a little vegetable oil to it increases its shelf life and prevents it from spoiling quickly. Since it's a mutter season, I have bought a large quantity of fresh green peas and stored them properly. I usually blanch the peas before storing them in freezer bags, which helps maintain their shelf life and vibrant green color. Similarly, I also buy fresh corn, remove the kernels and store them in the freezer for later use. I like to keep some pre-cut veggies ready, such as carrots, beetroot, red and green bell peppers. Additionally, I prepare methi, curry leaves and coriander leaves by removing them from their stems. This makes them easier to use while cooking, saving time and effort. Now that the potatoes are boiled, I will prepare aloo veg tikkis. I have mashed the potatoes. Now I will chop some peas, corns, beetroot, carrot, green chilies and red, green and yellow bell peppers in a chopper. Next, I will mix these vegetables with the mashed potatoes and season them with salt, pink salt, black pepper powder, chaat masala and red chili flakes. You can add corn flour if you want, but I am skipping it. Now I will shape the mixture into round tikkis and coat them with breadcrumbs. The tikkis are ready. If you plan to consume them instantly or on the same day, refrigerate them for a while so they set properly. I have saved some of the stuffing which I will use to make parathas for lunch today. The tikkis will go into the freezer so I can use them later for sandwiches or wraps. When needed, I can air fry or shallow fry the tikkis for a quick, healthy and delicious meal. For lunch today, I made parathas using the same aloo veg stuffing and they turned out delicious and healthy. Later this week, I also made aloo veg tikki sandwiches. I had green chutney ready and I quickly prepared a homemade mayo by mixing hung curd, red capsicum and paneer. I air fried the tikkis and used them to make a flavorful sandwich which made for a quick and nutritious breakfast. Now let's prepare some snacks. My husband loves chivda mix, so I always prepare a container full of it which lasts for about 15 days. For this, I will add poha, peanuts, makhana and curry leaves to the air fryer. To prevent the light ingredients from flying around due to the strong airflow inside the air fryer, I will place a fine sieve or chutney on the top and roast everything for about 6 to 7 minutes. You can also add dry fruits and nuts for extra crunch. Make sure to pause and mix the ingredient once in between so that they roast evenly. Once done, season it with salt and red chili powder, mix well, let it cool down and store it in an airtight container. Similarly, I will prepare roasted makhanas, which is my son's favorite snack and a healthy tea time option. For this, I will mix makhanas with a little ghee, salt and black pepper powder and roast them in the air fryer. In just 5 minutes, the makhanas will turn perfectly crunchy. For extra flavor, you can add peri-peri seasoning or enjoy them as plain salted makhanas. Next, I am making besan laddus. Last month, I tried making them for the first time and they turned out delicious. My husband loved them so much that he asked me to make them again. So here I am preparing another batch today. In a pan, I have taken half cup of ghee and added 1.5 cup of besan. Now I will roast it until it turns biscuit colored and gives off a nice nutty aroma. While the besan is roasting, I am also roasting cashews and almonds separately in a little ghee. The consistency of the roasted besan should be perfectly smooth, neither too thick nor too liquidy. Once it turns light brown, I will add a pinch of turmeric for a nice golden color and set the mixture aside to cool down. While the besan is cooling, I will finely chop the roasted nuts using a chopper. Once the mixture is warm but not too hot, I will add a pinch of cardamom powder, finely chopped roasted nuts, 1 cup of powdered sugar. Now we need to let the mixture cool completely because if it's even slightly warm, the laddus won't bind properly. While the besan laddu mixture is cooling, I am preparing another type of laddu, healthy dry fruits and nuts laddus, which are super quick and easy to make. For this, take any nuts and seeds you have at home and lightly roast them in a bit of ghee. Today I am using cashews, almonds, pistachio, sunflower seeds, pumpkin seeds and flax seeds. Once roasted, coarsely chop them using a chopper. Next, take some dates and raisins, add a little ghee and grind them into a thick paste. This acts as a natural sweetener, so no added sugar is required. Now mix this date raisin paste with chopped nuts and roll them into small laddus. And that's it. Our healthy, delicious and energy-packed laddus are ready. These laddus are great for kids. Giving them 1 or 2 daily helps boost their health and immunity. Meanwhile, the besan laddu mixture has cooled down, so I can now shape them into perfect laddus as well. And that's all for today. A little planning and discipline can make a huge difference in your weekly cooking routine. If ingredients are prepped in advance, cooking becomes hassle-free even on the busiest days. Doing a bit of work over the weekend saves so much time and effort in the kitchen, especially on busy weekdays. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like and share it. Subscribe to Simplify Your Space for more such videos. See you all next week. Till then, happy organizing from Simplify Your Space. Bye bye.